for our next segment, and this one is really a warning about something many of us may have never even thought of as a danger. Lithium coin batteries, also known as button batteries. They're in so many of our household items, but have you ever stopped to think of just how deadly they can be? Well, one mom is acutely aware and is on a mission to make sure we all know the perils of button batteries. Last April, Leslie Bengama found herself in the middle of what can only be described as a horrific nightmare that involved her then 18-month-old daughter, Amelie. The toddler had swallowed a button battery, which had left her on the brink of death. But thanks to the heroic efforts of her medical team and her parents who never gave up, Amelie survived and is thriving. Meanwhile, her mom, Leslie, is working tirelessly to bring awareness and effect change when it comes to button batteries and the dangers they pose to children. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to hear that this story has a happy ending, but I cannot even imagine how that must have felt. Can you take us back to that day in April and just tell us what happened?
Yeah, hi Trace. Thanks for having me. So April 9th, simple day. We're home with the COVID-19 restrictions. Started as a slow day. My daughter had woken up that morning playing with her older brothers. And then around noon, she finished having lunch. They went to go play again. And then she came back upstairs and I was loading the dishwasher. And as I was loading the dishwasher, she was playing with Tupperware and she keeled over and collapsed. At first, I thought she was joking, and when I proceeded to go pick her up, her eyes were rolling to the back of her head and blood began to pour out of her nose. When we arrived at the Red Deer Regional Hospital, they assessed her and she vomited quite a bit of blood, which led to them doing an x-ray, and the x-ray would show that it looked like a coin stuck right in her throat. She was intubated, and things indeed did get worse. When she arrived at the Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, she went into cardiac arrest within 15 minutes of arrival. She went into 2 cardiac arrests and then was taken into the OR for surgery that what felt like forever. They were able to remove the battery from her body, but it had ruptured her esophagus, trachea, aorta, carotid left artery, and she also suffered a stroke because of the incident, and just in the OR needed over 4.2 liters of blood transfused.
I'm in shock, and I was not even there when this happened. I cannot imagine how you must have felt in that moment. And this was not easy to diagnose. So why was it so difficult, Leslie, for them to figure out what was going on?
Because there's so many varying symptoms. So I don't have a medical background, so I couldn't say, look out for X, Y, Z. My daughter, for her story, she never choked. She didn't gag. We don't know when she had ingested this, but she must have seen it, picked it up, and she didn't show any signs that she had ingested a foreign object.
Give us some advice, because parents are watching this and they're terrified, but help us prevent this or maybe safeguard against this happening.
So the first thing that I always advocate for is know what uses a lithium coin battery in your household. When you dispose of the battery, dispose of it securely, meaning remove the battery, make sure it's in a stored locked container that a child cannot have access to, and making sure you dispose of that battery safely. It starts with being aware with what utilizes the battery in our household and ensuring that it's secured properly, making sure you store your batteries properly, and when it's time to dispose of them, disposing of them in a safe and secure manner so that children don't have access to them.
Because you're saying even after it's not working anymore, say in the remote control, there's still enough toxicity in that battery. If a child ingests it, it's still going to do some damage, right?
And I learned this the hard way, unfortunately. Yes, just because a battery is no longer working in the intended device, it can still, when it touches the saliva in your body, it will still develop an electric charge, which will burn through tissue.
You are so focused on advocating about this, and I think that there is something that is really driving you to make sure that this kind of change happens. Tell everyone why it's so important for you to focus on this right now.
Oof. Not gonna cry on live TV. For me, it's honestly really important because the trauma that my daughter went through, our family felt, I would wish on no one. And as I'm raising awareness, it's very therapeutic for me because the mom guilt is there, but
Mm.
I know it was a genuine accident. I remember being at her bedside praying, saying, God, she makes it through this. I promise I will raise awareness. And thank goodness she made it out of this. So I had to keep up my side of my wishes. Of course, I am so grateful to the Stollery Children's Hospital, and I cannot stop singing them praises. So I think it's really vital to support these specialized children's hospital that we have in our backyards, because you just never know when you will need those services. And they were amazing, from not just saving her life, but through the rehab and other programs that they have in place. She still does quite a bit of follow up. And then, of course, Canadian Blood Services. I always say the doctors could have been there. They could have repaired the ruptures, but if there was no blood, my daughter wouldn't have survived, because she required alone 4.2 liters of blood in the OR room and more transfusions while she was in ICU for that first week. So 52% of Canadians are actually eligible to donate, but less than 4% do. So
Mm.
it's those less than 4% that saved my daughter's life. So it's really important for me to highlight the importance of those two organizations.
Angels
Wow.
on earth for sure. But you know what, Mama? I think we need to meet Amelie. She's been so brave. Like, if you could bring her on for just a quick little hello, we would love to see the little girl that made it. There she is. Hi, Amelie. How are you?
Tu veux dire allô? Oh, you say hi, Tracy?
Aw. Listen, your mama, your family is fighting so hard for you. You are a very lucky girl to have a team like that behind you, love. And I wish you nothing but good health and happiness 2021 and beyond. Leslie, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing incredible work. I'm so happy she's okay.
Thank you, Tracy. So am I.
If you at home want to help by donating to the Stollery Children's Hospital, or by giving blood, or by giving to the family's GoFundMe page, all those links will be up on our website, that's cityline.tv.